Hey guys, thought I'd drop in for a bit. Uh, Pretty tired, but yeah, it's gonna be a long night. Um, Been a pretty good day. Um, but um, I was running late for certain things today, and um, maybe didn't pay quite as much attention as I usually do, and sort of fear we were followed or seen places that yeah, definitely get us fucked with sometimes. Um, yep, yep. Um, has a flavor on it from the way back 21 or whatever. Everything really since, doesn't it? But you know. Anyway, um, I'm hoping that I did my normal shaking maneuvers, that type of thing, but I still wasn't paying as close attention as I usually do. And so I'm hoping that's not why the super weirdness tonight, but I feel like it could be. So, just certain things could have fucked with really, really hard as opposed to normal average day. Um, so I'm trying to sit up for a while, make sure which level of normal it is, right? So, anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. They were keeping up today. They were champs. That's all I can tell them, but it may be so. Or could have just been spotted. Can't go fucking nowhere without that. Yeah, it works for there. So anyway, um, I yeah, it was a pretty good day anyway. Um, yeah, it was. Bless. Oh, my belly hurts. I'm definitely overweight for sure. I did something. Yeah, no, I think it was popcorn related. It feels like a popcorn related stomach. um, I hate popcorn. I hate it. Dislike it a whole great deal. But theater popcorn gets me every time. I know better. I know better. Um, I think Little and I ate the entire bucket. That's probably a first, quite frankly. Uh, Not sure why. Got all the snacks, and they said untouched, but popcorn is a thing, dude. Um, anyway, yeah, it's weird. I don't know, we went and seen this. Maybe she won't see. I thought it didn't come out too late this month, but um, I guess here they've already got it out, or I was wrong about that. Either way, yeah, it's directed by Robin Williams' daughter, Zelda. It's that Lisa Frankenstein. Y'all, y'all, I was so torn in parts of it. I damn near was like, "Oh God, little, cover your eyes," you know. And I was like, I can't really do that. I guess, you know. Yeah. So I held back. It's sort of like I don't know. It's reminiscent of like our generation, sort of Pretty in Pink and that type of thing, but goth, right? Coming of age tales type thing, but did yeah, it is a very good movie. Um, it was a little bittersweet for me because here I am watching. I'm not sure if some of you out there know who I mean. It's Colin Sprouse, right? But when my littles, both of them were little, they watched this kid on the Disney Channel quite a bit, especially little. One show in particular for her, and anyway, so here I am watching this kid that's now an adult, right? And then little's aged and grown, and I'm like, so it's sort of like, and the next thing you know, Colin Sprouse is cutting off this other feller's bits, and it's flying through the air, and there's a shadow on the wall. And I'm like, well, I guess they're all almost grown up. Oh, God, remember this little fella being on the TV in the way back? Disney definitely didn't allow that. Oh, God. Little, cover your eyes. Anyway, but it's nothing like, you can't see anything. Only thing you just see the shadow flying through there. That's it. Yeah. But I was like, oh, God. Well, and I almost did it. Almost covered. But I was like, man, I gotta let it go. I can't. Yep, I can't do that. She's old enough. I'm sure she's obviously seen worse online, maybe. Oh God. Um, there are definitely a few risque moments in there throughout, but nothing. It for modern. For 2024, it's pretty tame. You know, so I held back from being like, "Oh God, cover your eyes." So, there's lots of giggles and laughter. Um, that popcorn kicked my ass. Uh, there was a cute cat cup. Seen little eyeballing. Yeah, it's very cute. Um, I don't know. Little's making the whole birthday thing like a month long celebration, but decided to, whatever. Anyway, Like, whatever. But we have to, because tragedy pimps being on the ground and everything else. So one thing at a time, right? Anyway, after that, um, ended up places and near things, and it may be what's causing some of the bullshit tonight. Either I'm hoping we did not get spotted, followed, but I also forgot to turn off certain devices that they're always in as well. Fuck, you know. I don't know. We'll see what comes rolling downhill from it. Oh well. Same shit, different day in Jurassic Park Tragedy Pinville, right? Oh well. Anyway, uh, hey Mud Pie, Lori, Jane. I know it's Super Bowl. I'm not even the least bit interested. I could care less. Um, I know a great many are obviously watching. Have fun with that. Uh, and that does explain some of the traffic. Everybody's in a hurry, I guess, to between church and then going to drink 60 packs of beer. Praise Jesus, it's football time now. I don't know. Sunday in the South, man. So anyway, but the roads seem to be pretty dead except for stalkers tonight. Harassers. So it's easy to pick them out tonight. Yeah, I like football, but I don't like watching crap on TV. I'm also not a stadium person either, if that makes sense. I love watching my kid play. You know what I mean? I love watching my son play. And my friends' kids and that type of thing. But also the weird football ones and the sports bums. I'm like, why in the ever living fuck are you screaming like that, Karen? Knock it off. Why are you dressed like that? In all your best and your furs. It's 102 out here and the humidity is like 300%. I understand you're trying to make the football friends, Karen, but damn, calm down. Why can't you just wear leggings and your hair up like the rest of us, you know? I just, some of them go hard. Even like Pee Wee League shit. Like, damn, bro. They got their kids up there with coaches already hiding head injuries at the age of 6. And I'm like, God, their kid's making it to the NFL. I'm like, no, Bob and Karen, he's probably not. But every time you do this, that boy ain't gonna make it through college either with whatever is left to him past the traumatic brain injuries. So, yeah, look, I was, you know, and I'm not kidding. Half my friends' kids, man, they are broke down by the time they could get to high school to the point to where they're having to have knee replacements and all kinds of shit that will affect the rest of their lives. And this kid's never had a shot in hell at the NFL. Their parents thought they did. Now their bodies were not. And these kids hated football. They're forced to play it and everything else. You know? Like, damn, bro. This shit's tragic. Just so Karen could make football buddies, you know? Whatever. Um, whatever, man. I don't like that type of shit. But I do think adult wise, football, you know, as long as I can stay out of the rows of screamers, you know, the confetti throwers and the weirdos who color coordinate and have things written on their bellies or whatever it is. I'm good, you know, but I also think football, I don't know, it's lost its muchness. You know what I mean? Like most sports. But anyway, I just, eh. Now you get me some shit like some Coliseum, like in Rome or something. I'd be right up in that bitch. Be like, release the Kraken, you know. Be cool with that. Anyway, yeah, they really said they had a whale in there once. A fucking whale. The ancients, man. They're a wild bunch. So anyway, um, yeah. And of course, I'm always doing the fires and puzzles, right? Tonight, sitting here, paint ants. I'm like, well, there's just something. There's always something. There's a million splinters, right? Million things, scattered bits, things that lead back to things. And I'm looking at a couple pictures been posted by a few creators, subs, a few others. You know, it gets. I mean, I can't say that it's an offshoot or one of the splinters because it's one of the main things for me that I concentrate on to try to separate everything around summer, like the pull and pill Twizzlers, you know. So, and have for obviously several years now, since damn near the instant this group did what they did, finally acquired, blah blah blah, headhunted. Couple days in, their bullshit. I was like, there's something wrong with you sons of bitches. You're all foul. What is it? And then, well, shit rolled downhill rather quickly. For those of you who know, you know. I don't think we need to go back over the whole damn sordid tale. It's all here for those who paid attention. Or most of it. Some of it. I know I always just mostly try to stick to the keys in there, the bigger pieces, because much like everything else, I try not to give all the receipts or all the info or everything I hold. So much like others, these fuckers can't leave from and whatever. And that way, whatever final version of bullshit they want to stick with or feed you all eventually when they finally tie it up in a bow, um, then I can break it back down again over and over and over with what I still hold and show them still be bullshitting. So, and to not give them any more to weave and fairy tale and pull a 19th fucking tighten a bow. All the criminals should run and scurry and get all their stories straight maneuver. You know, ain't nobody got time for that. So I just keep, it is what it is. But this goes back to origin points. Why the YouTube channel? Though they feed you that narrative. I started it because of Summer this year. It's not true. They know it. I know it. Those who watch, pay attention, know it. I jump from Facebook to here to hunt these motherfuckers. And what they were doing and what the hell they thought they were doing with I and my children and family and Summer and our case, everything else. They done pissed me all the way off in several days. Piqued my curiosity a little too much. Showed what kind of monsters they were. Showed, proved, pissed me all the way off. Hell hath no fury like a woman with a missing neighbor facing a bunch of tragedy pimp. Criminal assholes, okay? Who then not only fuck with the missing neighbor, they fuck with her, her children, and everything in between. Probably was not their best idea ever over here. But the voice, right? The accent. 125 must be just like 110. Must be like, oh, in East Tennessee, they must be all uneducated hillbillies. It's fine. We'll just pull some slick Rick shit and they'll never know. And we'll do what we do in all the cases. And these dumb hillbillies won't get it. We'll be in and out. We'll just do whatever the fuck. No. No. Wrong bitch. Wrong road. Wrong bitch. Wrong road. Oh, look. She's super sensitive. We didn't know. She's got children we've used to acquire all this and manipulate emotionally, all these things. Look, we've already got one getting ready, they got blackmail stuff. Look at this, whatever, and look, she's already all in PTSD because of, you know, domestic violence and her monster abuser and her children's just running amok. Now it's great. Let's still the wrong bitch, the wrong road. That's all I can ever tell them. And I'm gonna bet the feelings are mutual, especially. I wish they'd left us entirely the fuck alone. I'm sure they wish they'd never heard my fucking name. They don't really care. There's others just like me. They've made you all forget their names. They make you all feel the same way about those people around each open and active case as well. They annihilate them, their lives, communities, families, court cases. Just forget. Or their voices never grow loud enough to speak and be heard. But there's always one of us, right? Fry Guys, the Anons, the other one in Idaho, 4 besides Non. There are those around, Classic and Sincere and Cash and Potato. Every single case, they pick one or two, especially any witnesses, anything like that. Even if prime and only's been named, and they just hammer the fuck down. Tiffany, to my knowledge, I'm not using any new format. Something's changed. It's on YouTube's end. I'm on Restream, Tiffany. That's a cute name there, Jack. It's a cute name. Very 1980s of you if you want to go catch refrigerators from me. YouTube picked me to be the first to get the new format. Oh, woo! Well, that's definitely gonna suck for a lot of people if they can't fast forward me or put me in different speeds, Tiffany. They're gonna hate it. Do you think we can bring Angel back out of retirement? You think? Is she even retired fully? We're acting like an angel somewhere, I'm sure. Well, shit. I don't know. I've still got the option. Like, when I can see it. Like, I could rewind myself. I've still got the option. See, there are definitely a few risque moments in there throughout, but nothing. And for modern, for 2024, it's pretty tame, So I held back from being like, I got it. So there's lots of giggles and laughter. That popcorn kicked my ass. Uh, there was cute cat cup. Seen Blue Eyeballing. Uh, so I can fast forward myself down. Well, I'm cat cup. Seen Blue Eyeballing. Yeah, mine looks normal. So I don't know. Anyway, so maybe Tiffany. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, origin points, right? Origin points. Sparks that became infernos, pissing off the wrong fucking neighbor. Making the wrong neighbor just a little too curious. Mm-mm. Probably the worst idea ever. Anyway. Well, Tiffany Marie, honestly, all you missed was me talking about I'm Little, the theater, really. Usual nightly stalking fuckery. So anyway, intro type shit, right? That's what they call it in here. Intro. So anyway, oh, Scott 2.0 channel showed up here last night, Tiffany. What do you think that's up to? Every time that thing rears its head, it's like the harbinger of doom. And it has been following Monster instead of Jenny and Adrian lately. Right? Been all over over these streets, and it shows up in here with a 2.0 channel last night. Some fuckery's gonna hit the fan, ain't it? Ah, well. Anyway, speaking of origin points, that's what I hear. And I'm sure if they've seen what's. And if we're followed today, I'm sure shit's getting ready to get really real and panicky. Much like when they did fuck shit to us in the way, way back. When they all had the fake police, and the fake this, and the fake that rolling. Oh yeah, Lady R's, the Q's, the Cams, the Twisters, it was great times, wasn't it? Fake Chris McDonald's, those are wonderful days. Anyway, y'all have to pardon my eating advice tonight. The urge is fucking real, man. Alright, so what I'm gonna do tonight, because I want to listen to something, I want to try my best not to interrupt or stop or start. I'm gonna try not make this a Gilligan's Island tour, but just to place bits. Yeah. All I can think of, you said copper. All I can think of is the fox and the hound. Why'd you do that to me, man? Anyway. Alright. So this is Benny in about the 3 month way back. One of the last photos on this shit show attempts, right? And y'all know how I feel about floppy. But even in amongst bullshit, there are little things. Even if they too are a bunch of fuckery. I hate the rewrites, man.
That shit for love just so she can say I ain't do the no. So she can tell me I never call her, I never text. I'm like, what the fuck? I carry the world on both my shoulders and manage to still hold both my hands. She wants me to lift her up, but I need her to help me stand. Guys,
Thou shalt not comment on the shittiness of your YouTube neighbor's music. Thou shalt be decent.
business. Yeah, right now you in the mix with DJ Logan Garrett. How is everybody? I got some emails. And I really didn't have the energy. I got all the time. Just I have the energy to go back and pull forward all the things that if you really been following the story, you already know. So I shouldn't have to. But I read this email. You gotta understand, like I've been really slacking on it. I've always slacked on emails. Even in lulls, I've really slacked on emails. But it's a couple of
Well, thank God he didn't have a Linda. You know,
the emails came through, and I guess Google does this new thing where if you don't answer it, it's going to give you a little reminder on the desktop with a little orange, I think, writing like, "Hey, you not responded to this yet. You've had it for whatever." So I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, the first one, uh, the first one, sort of, I guess it didn't really stick. Um, Hold on, real quick. Let me edit this one because I'm really not here. But so one of the things that my mind rushed back to is the Discord messages that came out from TM and Penny, or wherever they came from. And Penny was saying that she felt like Brad added way more to the story of the Indiana call when he talked to her.
Huh.
Now, it also flashed back to where Penny told Carl that he had actually talked to her about this same call, but 2 weeks prior to it coming out. So then that sort of like deadlocked it for me because it was like, okay, so Brad's giving more info to each additional person he's trying to sell this to. He's giving additional info to these people while Fizzle on the back end is involved with knowing about it further in the past. But there was a wild card. There was a wild card, and the wild card, I think everybody counted out. In fact, I know they counted the wild card out.
I'd say there were several wild cards.
So, what I want to do real quick is I want to send this to myself. Okay, here's this. Keep. All right, so now I got the first and the second. Now, probably a lot of you, again, if you know the real intricacies of this thing, then you'll know who this came from immediately when I show it. But what I want to do is I want to start off with some context about all of this, because when we get these updates to Durant, they're not talking about the real stuff that's going on in the YouTube world. They're talking about real beige, bland.
Nah. No, it's worse than that. They're trying to come together with woven receipts and what they have and what they've gathered, and then try to get in front of the truth and throw just one or two off the fucking bus for the crimes of many in and around Summer Wells. And the fuckery that has always taken place, especially since the Amber Alert was released. And then subsequent, and hell, a couple of them linked to this group even in the minutes and hours after Summer vanished, and before the alerts, even. Yeah, it's what they do to all the court systems here. For all the monsters. And all the satelliting court cases and all the satelliting things. It's just what monsters and criminals do. It's why they siphon up all the receipts ever so often around here and rebuild and reweave and try to get their shit together. And then they really will tamper with real detectives and feds and shit and try to throw one or two off or do whatever, you know. And to keep a whole lot of other asses out of play. They're that bold around here. And that's if they actually end up doing whatever but they do get their shit ready in case shit rolls downhill right on top of them. That way they'll make sure they're on the same page if they get those knocks at the door, the kicked in doors with warrants.
And shit. Not giving them just a, you know what I'm saying? Like that's being saved back and compartmentalized in whatever else. But so let's listen 2 weeks prior to it coming out. So then that sort of like deadlocked it for me because it was like, okay, so Brad's giving more info to each additional person he's trying to sell this to. He's giving additional info to these people while Fizzle on the back end is involved with knowing about it further in the past. But there was a wild card. There was a wild card. And the wild card, I think everybody counted out. In fact, I know they counted the wild card.
Lost again? What do I believe in my heart of hearts? I'm just gonna assume you mean about summer. I believe there's a bigger chance than is normal statistically that she's out there somewhere. But what I know is that no matter what, she will be found and brought back to her community, her brothers, law enforcement, and courts. And her voice will speak one way or another. The truth will be told. The people responsible will be held accountable. That's what I believe.
So, what I want to do real quick is I want to send this to myself. Okay, here's this. Keep. All right, so now I got the first and the second. Now, probably a lot of you, again, if you know the real intricacies of this thing, then you'll know who this came from immediately when I show it. But what I want to do is I want to start off with some context about all of this, because when we get these updates to Durant, they're not talking about the real stuff that's going on in the YouTube world. They're talking about real beige, bland shit. Not giving them just a, you know what I'm saying? Like that's being saved back. And
the only way to take that is they're not sending the real deep shit in or anything. They're doing the surface level shit, right? They're not turning all parties and all major things in. If turn anything in at all. Want everybody to believe it. Certain turns they are, of course. Just like they have for over 2 years, obviously. And in that method, news rewrites, they siphon more receipts, to weave and build from. Whatever.
Compartmentalized in whatever else. But so let's listen to this really quick, okay? Let's listen to something really quick. I really want you to check it out. Actually, let me Share screen. Share screen. Window. All right. So let's do this. Okay. Now it's going to be this one. You see that? Actually, no, you can't see that. Just hold on real quick. So I'm gonna answer some questions if I know the answer. Right? That's the thing. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna bullshit you at all. Now, okay, there we go. Here it is right here. I've been out of pocket due to my health, but I'm getting it together. I am.
This is a message he is reading. Okay. And it says, I've been out of pocket due to my health, but I'm getting it together. I'm just now watching your live on your backup, but has something happened? Remember, I also received a call way back then, but didn't know what to take from it then. Not trying to dig you for info. Just curious if you found these people dirty, ? Thanks. There's only so many runner, the out of pocket, the spacing, the lack of an eye. Not trying to dig you for info.
I'm just now watching your live on your backup, but has something happened? Remember, I also received a call way back then, but didn't know what to take from it then. Not trying to dig you for info, just curious if you found these people dirty. Thanks. There's a second one that pops up, and I do believe it's the same day, but you can see how long ago it was on the 8th of October. Here it is, the 3rd of November, and I'm just now finding this. Now,
Also, you'll notice that phrase, out of pocket. It's one only a couple are interviews. I've also noticed it's one of the most parroted from, and when other creators are near this one, for some reason I always pick that up, and then they start parroting it themselves. It's often, that's how I know who's around. I mean, these people and their monsters, they parrot more than the average human. That's all I'm saying.
there was a wild card, right? There was a wild card. The wild card. Oh, let me play this really quick. I'm going to play this all the way through. Just listen to it. Just listen to it. Just listen to it. No. I'm going to try to put something together.
This is Lift Lock No More, addressing Annie, aka Dizzle, aka Super Comedy, whatever name she wants to go by, but well, this is interesting.
I'm going to address the text that was coming across while I'm doing a live. It was for Kenny of True Crime Commentary. Say, I woke up this morning to a bunch of screenshots of you and a chat room talking about me. Yeah, you sure did. Sure you did. It got to you.
And this is BK playing janky hips bullshit, right? Take what you want to from that.
The people you run with thrive on screenshots. And it felt good after all these months to be able to say in a live chat what I have been thinking and feeling for months. Okay. And you are the person who texted me and told me that Brian was shot. Okay. I don't say threads. I only recently learned how to take screenshots. I'm not very good at it. I don't say threads Kenny because I trust people. And I trusted you. So I can't show or receive a text proving that you're the person. And I'm going to say it now on a live stream on YouTube. Penny, you're the person who texted me and told me Brian was shot as law enforcement. You're the person who told me that you were working with an FBI agent, but later it turns out you didn't bother to ask for any ID to prove that. You're the person who told me that Tam and Allie are private investigators who are working with Brandon Shaw, who is law enforcement, who was working with the supposed FBI agent. And in the same text, you told me I couldn't tell anybody, so I didn't. And now I'm sitting here doing a live stream about a double homicide involving a two-day-old baby thrown into the Mississippi River, and you're texting me because you got some screenshots that I was chatting about you in a live chat. Penny, you're modeling for Betty Keys, along with some other people. And like another YouTube creator that you used to be associated with. I've come to the decision that you've always been against. You just presented.
Benny. That's interesting. What the hell? Really, Benny? God damn. Anyway, whatever. Here's what he's listening to.
This is Lip Lock No More, addressing Penny, aka Bizzle, aka Two-Time Commentary, whatever name she wants to go by, but thought this was interesting.
I'm going to address the text that was coming across while I'm doing a live. It was from Penny of True Crime Commentary. Saying I woke up this morning to a bunch of screenshots of you in a chat room talking about me. Yeah, you sure did. Sure you did. Because you and the people you run with thrive on screenshots. And it felt good after all these months to be able to say in a live chat what I have been thinking and feeling for months. Penny.
I know, Lori.
Penny, you are the person who texted me and told me that Brian was shot. Penny. I don't save threads. I've only recently learned how to take screenshots, and I'm not very good at it. I don't save threads, Penny, because I trust people.
And I love how Lip Lock goes something like Brian was on. Like she didn't say his name 4 billion times correctly and be like, oh, during her cheerleading for that marathon and shit. Like she wasn't all part of that shit. Like distance and shit. Ain't nobody got time for a janky. It's bullshit. Alright.
And I trusted you. So I can't show a receipt of a text proving that you're the person, but I'm going to say it now on a live stream on YouTube. Penny, you're the person who texted me and told me Brad Michon was law enforcement. You're the person who told me that you were working with an FBI agent, though it later turns out you didn't bother to ask for any ID to prove that. You're the person who told me that Tam and Allie are private investigators who are working with Brad Michon, who is law enforcement, who was working with the supposed FBI agent. And in the same text, you told me I couldn't tell anybody, so I didn't. And now I'm sitting here doing a live stream about a double homicide involving a two-day-old baby thrown into the Mississippi River.
Rewind it.
So I can't show a receipt of a text proving that you're the person, but I'm going to say it now on a live stream on YouTube. Penny, you're the person who texted me and told me Brad Michon was law enforcement. You're the person who told me that you were working with an FBI agent, though it later turns out you didn't bother to ask for any ID to prove that. You're the person who told me that Tam and Allie are private investigators who are working with Brad Michon, who is law enforcement, who was working with the supposed FBI agent. And in
You see how far back, like, just how many months ago was the rewrite on Slay? And the stamp of $129.99 buys you 3 certificates online. How many months ago was it that Kim and Ellie got booted over after failure to not fuck up that? And then that starts getting airtime, though Carl had taken all his vids away by that point. It was all blank. But Floppy had access from the receipt siphoner. Yeah. Anyway.
Sent text, you told me I couldn't tell anybody. So I didn't. And now I'm sitting here doing a live stream about a double homicide involving a 2-day-old baby thrown into the Mississippi River. And you're texting me because you got some screenshots that I was chatting about you in the live chat. Penny? So I can't show a receipt of a text proving that you're the person. But I'm going to say it now on a live stream on YouTube. Penny, you're the person who texted me and told me Brad Michon was law enforcement. You're the person who told me that you were working with an FBI agent, who it later turns out.
See, they're putting all the shit on Penny. Right? Thing is, Brad himself told me that he was working with law enforcement. They had off duty, undercovers, law. No, and just random stalkers to keep us locked down. Also, it picked up traffic, kept my PTSD in state, part of the emotional, psychological manipulation for the semi-kidnapping to the hotel took place, and the full force of the fake Fed card team member got put into play with Linda and Kelly and Penny and Camille and all the rest of the fuckery and Ginger Snap and all the bullshit. And the fake Chris McDonough and the real one and whatnot. Right? So, so it wasn't just Penny. Brad / Chase doing some of this shit as well. But was he doing it all on his own? Or at direction of? I mean, he was obviously choosing to do what he did, but who, many little things, isn't it? And then half of the fucking locals were like, holy shit. Like, I'd see him and be like, wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, all these dipshits tell me it was one person, but I knew that officer, that cop. So I knew who was passing by was not. I could see these people being whole confused. They didn't have any idea what they were looking for, who they were looking at, none of that. I'd recognize them. Anyway, they eventually come crawling out of the woods of work. They're like, man, I barely even knew Brad, but he had us, asking to help do this and that. We didn't mean to make you terrified. We didn't know we were being used for all the, this and that. And I was like, well. And, You gotta think all in the mix of that's a Linda, Scott, this and the other all in the mix of all this, including the fake Fed stuff. They tried to eventually lay it off on Linda being secretary, but Scott himself says that he goes through the email first. Then Linda, takes it down even further, and she's responsible for putting the emails to whatever. But then they try to change that again, and it's all just Linda's fucking fault. Like, yeah, okay. Then, of course, you have Ziggy and Cayman Alley and Q and quite a few others over here in touch with the Stacy Slay card fake Fed too. For years, even after this shit, and everybody on the streets knew. But they're still like, okay. Huh? Just, yep, yeah. You'd think you couldn't make this shit up, but they do. But it's not made up when it's tampering with people around real active and ongoing investigations to the degree they did it. That goes beyond going real life. These are extremes. These are crimes. Done in and around, and to those in and around active and ongoing cases. Crimes, emotional, psychological, manipulation, terrorizing, threats, blackmail, them trying to even take our kids falsely and things in order to admittedly to destroy those like myself on purpose and to acquire those minor witnesses at all costs, really, because they're witnesses and they want info from them. And it's really the only way to get their hands on them. And when they have a monster and stall and things like that to help them, and money flow into them, ain't much will stop them. And if they can tamper with the courts and satelliting events and lay down fake lawsuits and bullshit to fuck with even judges mentally, psychologically, give them impressions of certain things and certain people that are not true, they will go that far. I've watched them because it's been done to us. Not just watched them, I've experienced it. So has my family, children. It's not entertainment. It's not a YouTube game. It's not solving anything. It's absolute destruction, annihilation, and harm. Trauma, pain. You ever watch a bunch of people online who for years have targeted you to this degree from the beginning? Played every game imaginable on Earth. Okay. Every trick, anything you could imagine, and those you couldn't even fathom. People bold enough to do, and then still on top of it all, they can't figure out another solution to silence you or to break you or to destroy you or to fully discredit you, so then they begin trying to get you full out harmed or murdered. with absolute proof, and with them doing it out in front of you all and giggling about it, setting it up right in front of you, and y'all watch danger come to doors, those around these open and active cases. It's not entertainment. It's real. And I know it's real because it's really happened to us. With absolute proof of it. Right in front of your faces, even very, very recently. Several versions of that let's attempt to get JSB and her family or Lily harmed or murdered. See, we know it's real. We know we have proof of it. As do a great deal many of you all. You've watched it. You've heard them say the things out in the open and do the things. And yet, you still disbelieve all these people in all of these open and active investigations and cases who keep calling out these creators for the same exact playbooks. From feds to law enforcement to others, they always pick in and around each case to do this to. Case here is worse, though, not just because of being in and around Summer's life, but because we're some of the only ones that can get them charged, convicted, and except for all the other surrounding crimes and their activities in and around Summer's case and real life on all of us, our community members. And then we hold the proof, and they know it terrifies them. They want at every turn to discredit, to break, to tear, to render us apart. So nobody listens, so that our voices go silent, so that people won't believe. And in every case prior to Summers and those overlapping history, they've mostly managed to silence all the others they've done this to. But this case is extreme because they fear so many things. For all those who have been involved in this degree of insanity, criminal behavior, criminal acts, run everything to do with Summer and all those around Summer, even things that had nothing to do with Summer, but satellited. Can't imagine why I'm so pissed off. Well, I don't like any of these creators, but yet you got subs and members up the ass every day going, Jody C don't like anybody. I don't know why she doesn't like poor little Justin. She didn't like this or that one. No. You're literally watching people who have helped do all of these things and enact them and get them done to us in real life. Working as a group, like they do in every case, whether you believe this or not. This is what it's what we have proof of. These people have had very, very real things done to us in real life that are the stuff of nightmares for most of you all. Hell, they're the damn crimes that y'all try to stop or prevent. But you watch them over here for entertainment while these creators do them, and then people are like, Tracy, you just don't like any creators. I don't know why so-and-so's so sweet and so-and-so's this, whatever. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Would you get along with people who are literally trying to get you murdered, bro? Trying to get your kid taken under false pretenses and put with a fucking abuser? Known who has already abused that child in order to get their hands on them as a witness? Not caring whether she lives or dies? Just to shut you up and silence you so they don't get in trouble for what they've done and how far they've gone? Would you be okay with those people? I'll bet not.
You didn't bother to ask for any ID to prove. I don't save threads. I've only recently learned how to take screenshots, and I'm not very good at it. I don't save threads, Kenny, because I trust people. And I trusted you. So I can't show a receipt of a text proving that you're the person that I'm going to say it now on a live stream on YouTube. Penny, you're the person who texted me and told me Brad Sean was law enforcement. You're the person who told me that you were working with an FBI agent, though it later turns out you didn't bother to ask for any ID to prove that. You're the person who told me that Pam and Allie are private investigators who are working with Brad Sean, who is law enforcement, who was working with the supposed FBI agent. And in the same text, you told me I couldn't tell anybody. So I didn't. And now I'm sitting here doing a live stream about a double homicide involving a 2-day-old baby thrown into the Mississippi River. And you're texting me because you got some screenshots that I was chatting about you in a live chat. Okay? You're modding for Betty Keys, along with some other people. And like another YouTube creator that you used to be associated with, I've come to the decision that you've always been a gangster. You just presented a facade in order to convince someone professional like myself and a few other YouTube creators that you were something that you are not. You lied to me. You used me and my group of researchers. You had me ask them to send information to your email address. So I helped you get content for your channel. Kitty, stop. Sorry, I've got 2 kitties on the bus. So Penny, here it is. I'm on a live stream, and I shifted gears because you texted me. I'm not mad. I'm not even upset. I'm disappointed. And I would really like to know just exactly how long you've not been at Keys. And I'd like to know how long some of the people you've been connected with have been connected with Ben Keys. And I really hope that TBI wonders how long you've been connected with Ben Keys. So if you haven't already, unlog me from your channel because I won't be back. I won't be back to channels to support you. You're welcome in my chat, as long as you remain respectful.
That promise didn't last long, did it? She's right over AB's ass. Chasing his ass. Where do you think Penny's at these days? Has been for eons now. Got my foot warmer. I can't live without it. Okay. Alright, so we'll go back to Benny's. And she is. And she's been with the Hive chasing skirts and ABs, which is exactly where Drinky has been. So you can tell how long that promise lasted, huh? Showmanship. Rewrite, tighten a bow. Again and again and again. Shit. Make it look a different way than it actually was. Shit. Which is why you just gotta kind of roll with it. Anyway, I'm gonna carry on over here from this.
saw it in order to convince someone professional like myself and a few other YouTube creators that you were something that you were not. You lied to me. You used me and my group of researchers. You had me as them to send information to your email address. So I helped you get content for your channel. Maybe so. Sorry about your cues. On with us. So can you hear this? I'm on a live stream, and I shifted gears because you texted me. I'm not mad. I'm not even upset.
She's just disappointed.
I'm disappointed. And I would really like to know just exactly how long you've not been at Keeps. And I'd like to know how long some of the people you've been connected with have been connected with Ben Keeps. And I really hope that you know how long you've been connected with Ben Keeps.
We all know each other.
So if you haven't already, unlock me from your channel because I won't be back. I won't be back to channels you support. You're welcome in my chat, as long as you remain respectful. But if you ever come in my chat and stir up shit, you get blocked like everybody else. And there is no ending of this dance. Because it wasn't broken. It was destroyed.
Okay, so this is
All right, there's that one. Now, we'll run over here. And this is TM, right? This is proof of life. Proof of life verified. Now, what's interesting about this here, straight up, my Christian voice, straight up. What's interesting about this is the wild card, baby. They done left the whole wild card out there. Hell yeah, they did. If you know who it is, don't put it in the chat. Keep it to yourself. Because I don't want people raising opinions right at this moment. I want you to think about all of it in context, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play this. And we're going to lightly break it down how we did before with the glaring contradictions that are within his statements. I don't have to be a pamphlet analysis statement graduate in order to look at these things, know the history and the context of it.
Poor Benny and his struggle bus.
And so loading the context is that before this, Carl is here now. I can't see the chat. I'm not going to get bogged down with that right now. Carl's known about this for 2 weeks before Bradley calls TM. Interestingly enough, before this, about 8 or 10 or 12 hours before, well, no. So it's about at 4. So 4 days before this, in the wee hours of the night, Fizzle is over on Down Under Crime Talks with Sharon in the chat.
Oh God, you don't say. Set up Sharon and during the marathon. That's oh no, no. God, where's Lady Harvey? You need to give me a fucking break. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Carry on.
Talking with Savannah, who had also already seen Proof of Life 2. That's what you got to understand. 2 proofs of life was about to clash and coincide, and you seen Fizzle putting it together in the motherfucking chat. She's like, I'd like to see this. Can you email me, Savannah? Because
oh, much like Fizzle put together the bullshit with the satelliting shit with Monster and all the garbage and Little and there's Jenny and Adrian on them. Scott's all things are planned with Linda, Royal Lips, all the blah blah blahs to do that shit to Little enough to get their hands on her as a witness and just finally destroy me and leave her with somebody that had and tried to murder all of us and could and potentially would murder her and definitely would abuse and harm her. So anyway, so they could all make money and get their hands on her as witness. Yep. Just like Penny did. You can see her in the background and in the foreground, starting this idea of this um, thing about holding hostage and all this other bullshit, right? And then she gets Monster all caught up in all that bullshit. She puts it out in the background, says that's a thing, and then Monster's caught up in that too, much like he is their other game where even he calls him out at first. He's like, what do you mean? So because of these other bitches, Jenny and Adriana and everybody, twisting the shit around a little, A, they're lying. I'm being punished, right? And by that he meant clearly he wasn't getting the cash apps because people thought he was part of the scam and the con and whatever. Oh, because those bitches got it wrong and twisted, right? But he learned pretty quick to go along with whatever they said. He then later on is trying to cover their asses for that line, pinning all of them. You know, you could clearly see building and weaving it into the story and all this shit even before. And then Monster inevitably has to put it into court settings, and he tries to mind fuck and abuse Little with it in the last enforced contact with her, where he tried to blackmail her for court. And for the second time, where she picked for herself for the second time. And, well, I mean, he did say fuck her the first, and then she agrees, like, I don't want to see it, motherfucker, either. And then the second time, she's like, I still don't want to see it, motherfucker. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, anyway, but suddenly Monster went wrong. Fuck her. I don't see her, don't even know her birthday, act like an asshole in court, whatever. To, oh my gosh, I love her so much. With Jenny and Adrian on him. He suddenly wanted, yeah, when she get cash flow and he could cough her up and abuse her and they could get their hands on her as a witness, sell her off, even if she ended up the next Harmony. Fuck would that matter? It's just all entertainment over here to you all those folks, right? You didn't experience the nights whenever she was terrified and holding your hand and put right back into the abuse like at home, where she was afraid to leave my side for 2 seconds and slow down her healing. Like, y'all weren't living those nights and days, watching your child progress in the healing they done after getting away from, at least semi, from their abuser. You watch their voice grow and then almost taken again by all that shit. Fear reigning for months and months and months as that process played out. It was all entertainment over here on this city. But these bitches like Penny, Jenny, Adrian, Scott, Benny, Linda, Lips, Stall, Monster, bro, they all knew what the fuck they were doing. They didn't care. But it was entertaining for y'all, wasn't it? Would it have been as entertaining if it was your child? Your abuser? Real crimes? Real batshit crazy stuff that is just absolutely damn near impossible to believe, but you hold proof of. A lot of which has been aired out public by these fuckers doing it in real time, and you all watched and didn't think a thing about. What you saw happening was maybe entertainment on your end, but it was torment to us. Just as it would have been torment to you as a mother and your child. But it wasn't you, so it didn't matter. It was entertaining. These things have really been done to us. And still are. You watch them as entertainment. But what it is, a bunch of criminals in and around active and ongoing investigations willing to commit these things. To silence, harm, destroy, silence. Make cash off of the whole time. And to hide themselves in all the things they do. Either way, during all that, you seen Penny do much the same thing as her and Jenny Adrian did. I mean, many times during all that shit they did to Little and I, but during this event, same pattern with Penny. You can see her start to do stuff beforehand, behind the scenes, and in front of, and then it becomes a thing. Inevitably, it leads Monster to put that shit falsely into court settings, just like other things they done. It's like, I hold clear proof for Monster, showing the whole thing was a goddamn lie. Everything called in was a goddamn lie. Just like I played the little clip of audio the whole time showing you all. Because what the hell else was I supposed to? That even else was. Yeah, I mean, y'all over here wouldn't listen to reason or truth or anything, and they kept moving the post, right? But there are many things this group got even Monster caught up in. Probably helped had Stall not been running the show back there with gas and fire. Speaking for it, Tim played this little group and the drama and shit. But that's what happens. But when you know the proof that even your Monster played no it, called them liars. But then he goes into courts, backing it up. It's how goddamn dangerous. Tried to use the same shit Penny built with the hostage shit to mentally abuse Little, part of the blackmail shit too, right before court last time. It was wild. Penny's pretty notorious for that. So are the rest of them, though. Hell, look at how the Hyde worked that day with the shit around Little. Timed it, planned it. You're all so worried they had goddamn like 63-day meetings about it. And hell, before that, the plan was to pull like a false 5150 to try to do emergency shit, right? Make certain things look certain ways. They had time posts to terrify me, this there, blah, blah. Piper over there holding Monster's leash going, Jody, when the help's offered, take it. And there's not, with the song share of, who's that knocking at my door and all of them doing a countdown on me. That was the initial plan. That's why Ziggy was confused or, whatever. And then they got a hold of something better that Penny and Jenny and Adrian wove. And the rest of them, Scott and everybody, Grow her lips, lend to the rest, and then they went with it full tilt. And then it was Little wasn't there doing this, then the other. And then throw in there all the things, right? Some fake lawsuits, that way. And then drop them after you get them swapped with the judge that's going to see it. That way, he gets to see this shit get in front of him, but then drop it. That way, nobody can argue it. And then select a date also meant to torment me, that they thought meant I wouldn't be able to say goodbye to my eldest the day he shipped out. They literally took out all that fake bullshit, lying ass lawsuits to mentally fuck with a judge, bro. Do you understand how fucked that is? And that those helping this group do that are locals who had fucking issued me for years anyway. But that tie back into some of the worst shit around some of these folks and the people around some of the worst shit here locally. And then some of those tie right back into that scamathon and shit. You realize that yet? It really is like the goddamn Twizzler pull aparts.
Because ding, 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 ding. Fizzle already knows that 4 days before this video comes out, there's going to be a big development. Wow. So you've got a clashing of proofs of life. Now, one proof of life, if you ask Savannah and them, one proof of life, it comes by way of Candace's own social media. She says the child looks happy, it's been to the dentist, and it's on Candace's social media. However, 2 weeks before that, they done already cooked up this Indiana story, right? They done already cooked up this Indiana story, baby. But once it went sour, do you guys remember what happened? The wild card came in. The wild card came in. So there had to be some sort of interplanetary confliction with the fact that Savannah's early to the party, but she's early to the party with the wrong story, the wrong locale, and the wrong side of the family, because in this call here, Grandis is going
to... or maybe it's where Penny started weaving out. Or maybe Savannah just couldn't keep up with the story. It was supposed to be whatever. Right? Much like Kim and Allie couldn't. Or Ziggy couldn't, where it concerned him a little. Or Kim and Allie and Slay couldn't. I don't know. Like the swap over from the 5150 and just who's going to harm herself to. Oh no, wait. Everybody get on the same page. It's little now. It's little. It happens quite a bit around here.
to be the hero.
Because let's do remember Penny, Latasha, / Fizzle, Chasing, all them, they come out of Kaninka. Other cases where other fake agents and shit were created, all kinds of the same playbook bullshit was done. Many other cases around all of them. Fake CIA, fake feds, fake police, fake undercovers, fake bobos. Nah, but in all those cases, they're in now pretty quick before anybody really catches on, catches up, or anybody's voice grows so loud they have a hard time shutting it the fuck up, right? Silence it like they're normally able to do for so many years to others.
Grandis, as if Grandis was responsible for taking the child away from its own mother and father, hence not being on the side of the bride. No pun intended. Not being on the side of the bride, but being on the side of the child. Now, knowing what we already know about Grandis's anthropology, she gonna be one in a handful of few to seen 2 people go missing in 2 different generations. Powerball odds. Fucking Powerball odds. But what are the odds that they shopped it to Jody first? Because we know that happened too. They shop it to Jody. Jody won't bite. Fizzle independently, I don't know so much as it was a shopping of proofs of life.
I'm gonna be kind and rewind 80s style.
One proof of life, if you ask Savannah and them, one proof of life, it comes by way of Candace's own social media. She says the child looks happy, it's been to the dentist, and it's on Candace's social media. However, 2 weeks before that, they done already cooked up this Indiana story, right? They done already cooked up this Indiana story, baby. But once it went sour, do you guys remember what happened? The wild card came in. The wild card came in. So there had to be some sort of interplanetary confliction with the fact that Savannah's early to the party, but she's early to the party with the wrong story, the wrong locale, and the wrong side of the family.
Now, mind you, during these series of events, they kind of get the idea I'm on some of their shit, you know, and I've alarmed them because I'm starting to ask about little things, right? Yeah. And they know damn good and well the fake Fed shit's been, oh, fuck. She ain't buying this shit. We've rang every alarm bell for it. This ain't, oh, fuck. Okay. I think she really did fucking turn us in, guys. Uh-oh. Oh shit, she turned in the $500 push from the Slay 2 to the actual fucking F. Oh, fuck. Oh shit. She's having an interview with Ansley? Oh god, let's have Cam and Twister and everybody stalk her and then people tailgate her and then threaten her and her children in Vegas ways to murder them. Oh god, what the fuck else are we gonna do? Yeah, all these events were starting to unfold. Mm-hmm. Carrying on.
Because in this call here, Grandis is going to be the hero. Grandis. As if Grandis was responsible for taking the child away from its own mother and father. Hence, not being on the side of the Bly. No pun intended. Not being on the side of the Bly, but being on the side of the child. Now, knowing what we already know about Grandis's anthropology, she gonna be one in a handful of few to seen 2 people go missing in 2 different generations. Powerball odds. Fucking Powerball odds. But what are the odds that they shopped it to Jody first? Because we know that happened too. They shop it to Jody. Jody won't bite.
See, you can't just pick another word. I mean, you can if you want to put an error. They shop it to Jody. Because we know that happened. They shop it to Jody, and Jody won't bite. No, they didn't shop it to me, bitch. They tried to blackmail me with it. They tried to blackmail me with it into silence. And out of all the videos you see over here that they've taken off Facebook this year, and I was definitely public and on public lives, but when you rarely see throughout that time frame, and then play the ones where I'm here, my little nook, going, why the fuck did these motherfuckers giving me a set amount of days to stay offline? and to shut the fuck up and to do whatever. Only after they can tell red flags been raised and, mine was working. And then I finally put it together and it was like, bitch, those days correlate exactly with the going down of the first scamathon and then lifting off the second one. And the aha really hit me when the call was released in a fast backwards way than it probably was intended to be released by TM. Because, see, the problem is that I was already calling shit out over there. Well, then how you gonna release this goddamn, oh, Chase is a hero, he knows where Summer's at, blah, blah, bullshit. To lift off Marathon Hero Paw Patrol #2. When somebody already knows about it, weeks prior, like, and they're speaking on it. I'm not gonna lie, there's something hinky with this. Well, then you gotta refashion it into something else, don't you? Yep. So then I'm like, and you see, that's the catalyst. That's the spark that lit the goddamn inferno. That pissed off X125. Probably ought not have done that, fellas. Because then, see, I didn't need to question any more little things to know what the fuck you were up to. It was an instant, these sons of bitches. And now you combine that with the fact that during all this, I'd watched them try to literally set up Candace and others to try to have shit called in after others had been up their property, sent in by other local YouTubers and such that would have access to really anything in property and possessions from that hill. Luckily, the nights they did that, I knew exactly where Candace was. And on other nights, they try to get us calling in shit on others to try to falsely set them up, is what they were doing. And I do indeed think that was to get their hands on the goddamn reward. Plus all the fucking hundreds of thousands they raised in front of the world during that scamathon. Number one, not to be mistaken with number two, where all the billboard shits are in that. And that is not the tally of what can only be imagined behind the scenes in crypto and everything else. So that'll have to be investigated by IRS and forensic accountants and all that. So, yep. And the first one, people forget, it technically went international, but the second one was fully international with movements through South Africa and otherwise with the money. Before then, it would hit certain places. I mean, it went full on international. But, yeah, that was the part where I was like, I don't think so, motherfuckers. And then I had a full on fit about it over on Facebook. And I had the meltdown because the call, by the time it came out, it had indeed been changed just a wee bit, right? But it hurt to hear motherfuckers you knew were lying. Talking about this Disney World fucking bullshit tale, knowing they were trying to sell it to all of you out here just for money that you knew by this point they were going to still siphon off away from, that what you'd feared actually been happening. All these things came crashing in, and the thing you want the most, which is Summer to indeed be okay. And for it to be a Disneyland, you know the chances of that are slim, right? And there's definitely no Disneyland. And it's cruel and it hurts. But you're also dealing with knowing at those exact moments that these people are indeed what you feared they were. They aren't stupid, they aren't naive, they aren't just a bunch of idiots out here in the world being like, whoopsies, and somebody playing it. No, they're working in a group, and you put things together enough to know that, and you know in a split second that the reason you were told this was to shut you the fuck up and get you offline so you did not break down any more of the shit, question them in front of the public, alert others to what they were doing, and to keep you offline and make you falsely believe Summer was okay. And the feds knew where in the center, and it wasn't for some. It was for them and for more money and a con and everything they'd already done to you and your children. You start realizing how deep and dark the game is, what they've done, and how far back and how far you've been hunted, which you knew. First calls at first night from the weekend leave you hopeless, folks, and all those connected. I mean, everything crashes in, right? They don't show you the videos. Rarely around here do it. Or then I'm like, you motherfuckers. Every cent of that doesn't get to Summer's reward fund. I'm gonna hunt you to the ends of the fucking earth. I meant that. And I knew by this point they were falsely trying to set people up. Then, as the walk along here is taking place, you can see how far it was going. Shares rolls in it, prayer gardens, J4s, and the rest have always said are connected from top to bottom and down to these little locals that for some reason quite a few don't like me much. But then you see even those with like Stall Monster, Jenny, Adrian, Penny, Ziggy, others, Fred, trying to get us harmed or murdered with. Weird, ain't it? Dolly, Solo, that panel color. One of these, wildly enough, the locals had the idea for that marathon #1. Now, didn't she? Got super hella pissed when Scott and T and everybody else took that idea from her. And then what else did she have from the time Summer vanished? That's right. All the little Facebook groups and Summer Wells this and that and the other that actually were identifying witnesses and other neighbors in Summer's case. She had the private Facebooks, the Discords, all these things, servers, whatever going. She had those like the Pamela Sanchez's and the Amy Tates, like those, you see tweaking at the vigil just like 2 or 3 days before I took the boys. I'll then later come up and lie about my kids too. But that one in particular, you see, after their whole Jody Sue, shut up, stay offline for X amount of days, the feds are going in to rescue Summer. What the fuck you mean? What's that got to do with me, Chase? Penny? What? I don't understand. Are you all stupid? No Fed is going to let Summer sit somewhere until a certain day, nor are they going to come tell you two loser pieces of shit when they're going to go get her. What the fuck kind of lie are you trying to feed me? How dumb do you think I fucking am? You know? And then I'll be goddamn if it isn't the certain local that was supposed to be placed on my Facebook by 110, then breaks out the fucking gates that night, and all these little creators over here. Penny goes, Trudy's here, you've got Squall, blah, blah, she's here, she's gonna make your son look like a murderer if you don't XYZ over here and tell Tiffany Marie and Benny everything right now. Well, what did she manage to do for this one? That one little local who had the original idea of the scam, who was placed in my realm in order to do what she did, in order to work with this group, in order to, all the way back from Ben Hill Ford, not very long after Summer vanished, who was pushing people to go fix up the house, to do this, to do that, had people up there like the Amy Tates and all these others, their hands all over everything. Then, of course, you have the PGs, the shares, the J4s, We Can Leave You Hopeless groups, you have the Cam-Nows, you have all these twisters and others moving and mixing and all shit. Scots, etc., right back into this. Linda the local. Linda, who's been such a great part of everything around here, drastic and extreme. Linda, who tried to troll me as a rapist and coleslaw. Admittedly so. Linda, who tried to help take my kid through the rest of this group. Linda, Stacy Slade, Linda, the Scott H. Secretary, Linda of the, I don't know, man. Linda of the Discord, Linda of the fake fab, Linda of the still working for Penny, trying to quote for Penny, and I've seen this typed out in Penny's words. You've got to figure out, Linda, you know, who and how far she's thrown everybody under the bus in their group. Linda's still working for Penny, trying to figure out which agents or cops or courts I might have contacted. Because she don't trust the feds. She don't want to just call 1-800-TBFI. She needs one that she can trust, like she really needs all the names, the ones we're talking to. You know why they want all that all the time? So they can contact the same agents or police or whoever you're talking to, and then fucking lie to them, mind fuck them, try to weasel, get out of, bow tie shit up, flip scripts like criminals and monsters enjoy doing. And I ain't a dumb bitch, and I wasn't born yesterday. Thank God for something. So I never would give it. And then you see the back messages, and it's like, but Penny, she won't give me anything. Yeah, you're freezing, Holmes.
Fizzle independently, I don't know so much as it was a shopping or if it was a gloating, like an ego, like, hey, Carl, let's measure let's measure our appendages right now because I've got this information now, right? I don't know if it was that or if she was trying to solicit Carl to come out and look a fool with this Indiana call that wasn't well put together at all. It wasn't. And you get a little more context when you go look at TM's video of this last call, which now involves Diana running back to home base. Back to what? Back to her abuser. Back to her abuser. I spoke yesterday about the water that won't run uphill. Remember? Water takes the path of least resistance always, always, always. It won't matter if that least resistance equates to it going downhill all the way around the world to be just an inch above where it started. It will not go back uphill. It will not. It will always go the path of least resistance. Now, like in Ziggy's celestial sexy cards, there was a joker, a wild card. There was a wild card here too. They didn't tell you that. In the wild card, after he lost his shit, there, that might have just done it. After he lost his shit, just shut it right down. Just shut it right down. So each time they transmitted the story, there was always more to the story than they transmitted. This I want to make note of for anyone like Tracing Truth, Deets, anybody who jumps in the way of this weird shit, but it's like the 5th or 6th cycle already, right? Because the 5 or 6 cycles before this had already also been told that's all of the information in its entirety. And it
Right. 5 or 6 cycles where Carl and the rest go about with those like incognito and the wire crimes and the whatevers, and they siphon up all the receipts and they pretend they're putting it together to do all the things. But really all they managed to do is to try to set up Churchill Rescue Squad and the marathon shits more and all that weirdness with Q and everything, with fake checks and so to be the catalyst for that. I don't know, man. It has all this flavor on it, don't it? Yeah, every cycle they do that. They revisit. Oh, y'all might have new shit. Some of it willing to turn in shit, say some shit. They'd like to know about it. They would like it so they can weave it into whatever final thing they need to keep most of them out of trouble while they pin it on just 1 or 2. Contact agents or detectives they know are working on it. Lay all of it onto one person. Fuck with evidence and shit. Destroy other evidence of. Right? Yeah, they are that dark, dirty, and deep. As you can clearly see, I have evidence of it. Proof of it. So do you all. But they can also get the receipts from you all who think that they're doing a good job, and then you want to really worry about it because you don't want your lives disrupted with anything. You'll just turn over your Discord messages, this, that, and the other, you know. And then guess what? Game on. They also know who might be willing to speak to cops or detectives or hold this info, and then they just blackmail your asses into silence, hack you, make you seem crazy, start scaring you by threatening you with your children, doxing you to your friends, family, public on what you're getting up to on YouTube and your extra hobby time. And, well, you don't want to look bad at the PTA or handcuffed or your door kicked in, do ya? Yeah, that's right. Or your kids taken or fucked with like you've helped them do ours or others, like Marley's, everybody else's in this damn community. Well, you don't want to be done the same way you've helped this group of others. So, or You're just out here and you might hold evidence of it from these discords you've been part over at the top tiers you've paid for. But then they know you hold that shit. And then you're in danger. Once they know. Because that means they can threaten you, especially if you have children or any vulnerabilities or go boy. And then they can silence you so that you never turn in and never sees the light of day. Right? Just like all these links for these creators that are put out by the oh I hate such and such creator channels right before court dates and things like that around here. You know, they're satelliting real life shit they don't want anybody to touch. All of a sudden you'll see, oh look, this hater of XYZ channel, that motherfucker's gonna go to court. Here's a link so you can go report whatever you know or whatever receipt you have on that creator to make sure, you know, blah blah. But actually it's got shit attached to it. Or it's a fake link or whatever, but it's meant to grab your info and all that so they can identify you and silence you, scare you, shut you the fuck down, and know who to come for. That way you never go to their DAs or anything or fuck with their separate satelliting issues. It's a bunch of criminals. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I really don't, Serendipity. Slash whatever. Incognita, I don't care. You may have thought you're doing good, but if you were over there, Carl, you won't. And the shit you then targeted others with falsely, and you had to know if you seen enough, and you put out your own narratives and shit, you didn't do any good for anybody. You did the opposite. So if that's what makes you feel good, is that, and have to believe that in your head, you go right ahead. But when you're sitting where I'm sitting, you can see the actual harm you're doing to real lives and the narratives you're pumping out and the shit you're getting on in comment sections and all this goddamn garbage. Knowing you know the opposite of those things to be fucking factual or true, well, you're no better than the rest, don't you? But what they did, even if you meant to do good with the gathering receipts, what they did with them, once you placed them with them, they used them to silence, harm, target others, and to weave from, to hide their criminal shit. So, I mean, honestly, whatever you hold on of, if you want to do real good and active and open investigations, incognita, I suggest you turn the whole file load over to the actual FBI and probably overseas as well to their police forces. That would include Canada, Australia, the UK, you know, the whole nine. Yep. Right. That's what I suggest you do. That's just me, incognito. You carry on doing whatever wonderful shit you're doing online. Okay? To real people around real active and ongoing investigations. And maybe do your research on who you're working with and how groups like this, if criminals work, before you start playing with them online. Probably be hella helpful. Maybe start figuring out how to identify real criminals from those you just want to be sus. I'd probably start there. And if you don't have the ability to identify criminals right in front of you and not be working with them to help them, you probably should be online being a detective. No offense. I don't do shoutouts here. Sorry.
Actually is not. Each time there's a new cycle, there's new information every time. And now there's new information about the Indiana residents and the Indiana vehicle. So now I have the pictures of the Indiana vehicle and the Indiana residents. This lie went super deep. I am going to find out who owns this residence and this vehicle, and I am going to find out and let them know that somebody on the internet, if they're not tied to this thing, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out. I promise you I will. I've come to the line so fucking early with this. I'm going to find out. Now, as I feel very confident that this was over a year ago, every single thing has been extinguished. They already know what we're just finding out. And maybe all of you already know. And if that's the case, well, then I've been compartmentalized from yet another thing. However, do not think anyone is aware that there's actually a trailer and a vehicle associated to this lie too. I want to know. I'm going to find out. She told me in a bid to stop fighting over Scamathon. I remember her saying we all.
This is Benny reading a Enchanted/Carl's comment he's posted on the screen. I'll rewind.
She told me in a bid to stop fighting over Scamathon. I remember her saying we all need to stop fighting and something was going to happen in 2 weeks about summer. She never went into detail. Okay, fair enough. Well, let me go into detail really quick. I probably don't even need to. I was going to screen the call. However, I don't even know if that's entirely necessary because I'm not going to show the pictures. What I am prepared to show is this.
Now this is a message he's got up on the screen. You know, it has the B and then it has the me to M, whatever he wants. Says he's got a bunch of shit marked out. P.S. Brad also sent me pictures of the truck in Indiana and the trailer that was suspected to be where she was being housed. Do I need to circle the wagons or what? And then the response is, yes, may I see those? Excuse me? Think about this. Language. P.S. Brad also sent me pictures of the truck in Indiana and the trailer that was suspected to be where she was being housed. Do I need to circle the wagons or what? What wagons and why would they need to be circled? That'd be implying there's a whole lot of wagons. And protection needed for those in the center of, right? Because y'all know what it means to, circle the wagons, right? Put them around, everybody get in the middle of, like women and children, while the men fought, y'all know, well, I can't say most people know. You know what, fuck it. We're not going to go into history lessons here. Do I need to circle the wagons or what? Implying there's people in the middle to protect. Got to circle and protect them somehow. From what? And your response is simple. Yes. Yes. That would be ridden off into the sunset narrative here in a second. That won't be really touched.
I got these pictures. Now, it's one way to know who knew about what, right? It's one way to know. So as you remember, Brad completely jarred this person and his wife's situation, right? They're already going through things from the tail end of COVID. And Brad reaches out and offers the man a job and this and that. And so the man ups and roots his whole life. And they start to locomote that way. Then they get there, and whatever it was a huge troll on that man and his wife. And then the subsequent issues that he encountered trying to make it back to where he came from. Right? So, all of this right here really has helped catalyst me into understanding that there was actually, when you break it down to its cosmic level,
I think he might have tried to use catapult, but he went with catalyst. Look, we're just going to leave Benny alone and word of the day. Okay.
You got a handful of people. Let's say at this point, and I'm not suggesting that Savannah is in on any conspiracy. I'm not. What I'm suggesting is you break this down to its very cosmic level, and you understand that Fizzle was born one day, Brad was
cosmic level. It's like you can't understand how vast the cosmos is.
Born one day, Savannah was born one day. And they were going to all travel through their lives organically, only to smash together 10 hours before, in the same place, the same time, the same chat room, on the same video. They're going to smash together, both with proof of life about a little girl that no one, that we know of, has experienced a proof of life situation with that little girl. Let's be real. No. But on a cosmic level, somehow these two women, they're going to find each other through this little girl and two different types of proof of life. That's deep, Jack. That's super deep. I don't even think that even I understand how deep that actually is. Think about that, Carl, on a real cosmic level. On a super duper cosmic level. My apologies for the train. On a super duper cosmic level. And all three of these people, they different ages, okay? They different ages. Brad being the oldest.
Filler content warning. They're all different ages. Who the fuck gives a shit? I don't give a shit if one's 102 and one's 15. I don't give a shit. Has nothing to do with anything. Filler content, whatever.
Fizzle being the middle and Savannah being the youngest. all born years apart, only to travel through their lives, to jam up together on Crime Down Under with Sharon, talking about a proof of life. And
But see, tries to make it like it all just happened there. But the thing is, and we all know it damn well didn't. Several of these people been in cases with one another long before Summers, doing this same exact bullshit. And they, as these other creators, damn well know it. They also know how AB, who helped build the quote Summerwell's community with Molly Golightly and the main provocateur bunch, and hand out payments like toe tags for all us to acquire us so that some of us could be pushed to people like, I guess, McDonough, others could be pushed to other places, to other creators, yeah, top of shit. By any means necessary, really. From minutes and hours after Summer vanished. By the way, we all know this is not true. They just didn't collide. One panel had proof of life in it. We know they were all working behind the scenes, and they were all in contact with her, including Chase and Truth, who, by the way, did one of the first interviews of Dawn with, guess who, Cher. That's right. So anyway, yeah. I mean, y'all keep playing like all this is just, oh, well, it's coincidence. It's not. Some of these creators for years have known one another. Years on here, many different realms, drama, hate channels, true crime makeup bullshit, whatever else. Especially around the main provocateur bunch. Anyway, they, much like a lot of y'all, they originally were members and subs. They worked their ways up, just like any other little goddamn mafia type group. But this one's online and around the worst shit ever, and criminal empires, man, they all work a little different. But either way, you have AB's Discord involved in all this, but all of them were trying to head to McDonough's. You have all this effort put in to try to get certain places. You have those like Brad/Chase and Scott both eventually coming on the TMs and being brought in that way, though Scott had been over there at What's Her Faces. But his main aim was at McDonough at first. I mean, look, a lot of those like Chasing, the main provocateur bunch, most of these creators you watch, they've all known each other for years, and they've all held different levels of fuckery throughout each case they've touched. Main player creators in them, they always revolve in this area, but the other ones in each case will either go back hidden and behind the scenes doing whatever as others come forward to take over the next case. That way, yeah, I mean, just all these methods they use of staying hidden or going underground for a bit and then coming back out under other names, or doing this or doing that, or they do good jobs for the main provocateurs and main criminals. Then the next time, the promise is that they'll be given channels and help to be built in the next case in this area, and all these needful things, right? These creators just didn't pop out of the woodwork in Summer's case. Now, Scott, Chase, yeah, others, the locals, sure. But they also hunt those in each active and ongoing case as well. They look for those who have YouTubes, or other locals will come to them pretty quick with info, wanting to be pick-me's like the Duncans and shit. They'll give out local names of whatever, and when they do, these people run background reports on about 4 seconds, realize most of the ones they try to get up to shit will always be criminal oriented. They know it means they'll skirt lines and shit, and they ask them to come on board. Then they build a channel, they'll build them up as whatever. They'll have them come on out with provocateurs to do stupid shit, whatever. They always find certain locals to get up to fuck shit, or who want to start, will start YouTubes as well. And they usually have criminal records also. Shit, it ain't hard to find them, just like it is, them to do everything they do with their little teams and apps and info polls and genealogy sites because they do it to everyone around anyone with an Amber Alert or any alert that's released. Almost instantaneously, they can have all the info, property deeds pulled, know who to look for. They do the same thing when they're looking for little YouTube helpers locally. And they know who they can bring on board. But anyway, we all know that all these people did not just magically meet on sharing con talks down under, right? And have the thing. Shit was being built in the background. Like it always is. And like it's been shown here many times. Through many cycles. And how they change it and leave it as it needs to go along for a few days or a week or two, and then it becomes a thing, and people forget the origins or can't trace down, where. So, and they rely on share moving so fast people can't keep up, or they don't have time to, or want to, and they just view it as entertainment. So they don't really realize it's not entertainment, but you're watching real crime groups working in a group effort online, committing crimes in real life, in and around open and active cases and destroying real families, victims, survivors, fighters, cases, communities, witnesses, courts, jurors, you name it. I was just screaming, why won't the cops give us info? Well, why are people like JSB and the Fry Guy and all them just being mean to all the creators? They're just trying to help Little Quit. They're just trying to help Little Summer. They're just trying to help Classic and Sincere and Cash. And oh, they're all about Petito. But wait, the next case, they'll all have a monster up there that's a known and admitted woman and child abuser with Cash App running. Yeah, right. Oh, wait, this week it's popular big. Oh my God, Harmony's dad's sick and so's the stepmom. And they showed all the signs of it and the drug use and the anger problems. And oh, but wait, weren't we just trying to put JSB's kid in that situation? Falsely, just so Jenny and Adrian's and those could tamper with her and get info from her and destroy JSB? Oh, but it's fine this week. It's popular to care about Harmonies. This week, it's popular to care about DV. Candace has a black eye and a broken nose. You know? Right. They sure are. Gymnastics. Pick a better name. Try again. Wah, wah. Thing is about delusions, you don't hold proof with those. We hold proof gymnastics. Proof you can't deny and can't be denied. See how that works? That's right. So pick a better name. Try again. Alright. Courts hold proof. Feds hold proof. See, there's your fucking problem. And it's all been done out here in front of the world. Not a lot of it. And admitted to. See how it works, gymnastics. You should probably try another sport besides gymnastics. You're not good at this. Carry on.
And predicting one that was going to come in 10 hours. Powerball odds, babe. Powerball odds. Powerball odds. You can't listen. I can't even remember all the fucking Powerball odds there's been, but I used to call them that. Remember all the things that were Powerball odds. What are the odds?
There's Carl with another message on the screen, just like Fizzle's Discord set up. Same day as Brad's YouTube channel. Wait, you mean the Meadows videos where he was doing those with Linda? And then he was discovered by TM and brought into Summer Will's community? And then Scott comes on TM's panel at a certain point and starts Withdrawal Latino on there, talking about a damn marathon being brought up? No, it's all too weird. It's too weird. The Scott who knows people around C&D and all that, and leads back to, no, it's all too weird. And Linda who leads back to people around. You know what? It's all fucking fun, isn't it?
Of that. Fucking the $2.3 million Powerball and a lump payout of $700 million. That's what. Some shit like that. Powerball. But to be
honestly, it's about like this, right? It's almost like the odds of being asked some weird ass off the wall question like this. Just look, there it is in the universe. Actually, this is probably wilder odds than the built bullshit of the Penny, Savannah, Sharon talks cons down under, you know.
Since the night of June 15th, there are still no answers as to where Candace and Dawn's 5-year-old daughter Summer could be. Now, I'm here with body language experts Scott Rouse and Greg Hartley, dissecting their interrogation with Summer's parents. All right, let's see this.
the guys who run organized crime around you? You worried about them at all?
Well, they question him, and he has an alibi, but, What about those fellows that live around there in the cornbread mafia? Well, cornbread mafia.
That's what we call them where we live.
I have no idea. I've heard about some hillbilly mafia type stuff and everything, and all these different boys. So we've tried to steer clear from all these. This is wires up. Tried to steer clear from all these people as much as possible. And I think they've kind of seen us as targets because they have come up and stole our stuff. They come up to my shed and stole all of my mechanic tools at one time. When they knew we were gone. They knew me and her were together. Just hang on.
Have you guys put any kind of security or anything in the place?
We don't have any kind of security.
Okay, this
Yeah.
is significant to me for a lot of different reasons. We haven't seen a lot of tears from her. She's talked about Summer. She's talked about her.
Thing is, they said it's when she began to lose it, is with that question, but really it was a little bit before that. But to me, at least, in other clips, whatever, but that's not even part of it. It's just that question itself. I don't give a shit about the reactions or anything else. It's that weird ass question, just pound it into the universe. It's random as fuck, ain't it? Hell, I don't know.
Her disappearance. She's talked about looking for her. She's talked about her being gone. She's gone down into her room where she lives. She's picked up her toys. She's held her toys. She's looked at the bed she's not in. She's looked at trigger after trigger after trigger after trigger after trigger, and not a tear. But then you ask about the cornbread mafia, which is a colloquial term for a kind of organized grassroots crime syndicate in Tennessee. Correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And let's see what happens when you ask.
I don't know, but is it though, really? I don't know, things like that kind of have a way of going all the way across the country, don't they? And shit, I mean, fuck, even the mafia and other criminal organizations and some of the most brutal across the world, from Russia, Japan, Yakuza, the others. I mean, man, they went high tech long ago. They function, operate, launder, crypto, do all kinds of wild shit online. You think they're still hanging out on pizza joints, like in a dark corner, smoking cigarettes in front of the velvet paintings only, waiting on the feds to come in and get Johnny Brisket or whatever to wear wire? Shit, no. Especially all these legal buffers to be had here between tech and the real world, eh? Yeah. Hey, you remember how JLR, he started fishing? Yeah. Remember that? That's how you got that term. Good old JLR over here messing about online with a bunch of teenagers. Way, way back when you're getting the free CDs and shit still in the mill. Boy, stole millions and shit from places and banks and whatnot. And a bunch of teenagers came online. That's how you know fishing now. Right? With a PH. You can thank JLR for that. Oh, yeah. And for suing everybody on Earth. Several presidents, a few times, stalking your U.S. reps who'd been shot in the face, attempted to be assassinated. Wife of an astronaut, by the way. You can thank him for building up Alex Jones and giving us that piece of shit after he did the whole Sandy Hook thing, and was in the parents' faces pretending to be animal artists. Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, so yeah, do you think criminals didn't move here long, long ago? You know, I think there's all kinds of real crime, real buffers used for real criminal orgs that really do rub elbows with the worst shit. I don't know, cartel shit, real trafficking, launder money through here. Have a bunch of motherfuckers crisscrossing the country to different locales going, I got a press pass, or anything. You don't think that's happening? Or, hey, look, we're going to all these places and do whatever. I don't know, man. Do you think a bunch wouldn't take advantage of it if they wanted to fuck around with somebody or anything, too? That they wouldn't think, well, fuck, this is a good time. Somebody we see that we already dislike, so in this event, let's use it to fuck with them. Yeah? You don't think they'd do that at all? Or gear up for, oh, I don't know, trying to cash in on marathons or anything? I don't know, man. Hard telling. Battle in it. Could just be bullshit, though. Just see what some random weird ass shit while you're having a serious conversation, you add in some goofy shit, and then see what somebody's reaction is to it. While you know they might be going through some shit with photos or something, plus Mullins telling them to walk off and shit anyway, and people at that time trying to purposefully make, oh, I don't know, see, look guilty and shit anyway, as they're talking about raising and starting scamathons fraudulently like Cher and Dawn did. And this group was wanting to be done. And yeah, it's fine, right? It's all fun, isn't it? I could tell you Candace didn't even want to go to Darkfield. She didn't want Dawn to go. She kept telling him, and I heard Dawn in the background. He was the only one planning to go. She was afraid sister was going to set him up on there. And then somehow, next thing you know, PG Mullen swap happens, all the bullshit's occurring, all this crap. Um, there's Candace going, weird shit starts shaking. And that's really when the shit and mud starts slinging too, and the lies, and it gets even worse than what it was June 15th forward. The hoaxes, the bullshit, twisted, and the narrative. I just don't know, man. It's all been such a weird walk. Goddamn pull apart Twizzlers. Chicken and eggs. Things, maybe not things. Oh, but there are certainly things. Things wiggling about and headed straight for certain shit. Even before summer vanished. Yeah. And that's why it's real fucking important to figure out chicken or the egg, warm mutually occurring, how far wound in, what is. Even if it is just a stupid question 7 for some reason. Thing is, the truth that certain shit is wound in. Certainly is. Certainly.
Let's pay attention to her.
What about those fellas that live around there, the cornbread mafia? Cornbread mafia. That's what we call it.
So we started by trying to give her a little space with organized crime.
So Greg says, brings up organized crime, doesn't register anything with her. As soon as I say cornbread mafia, go watch this side of her mouth start dragging down. Because that's when the emotion hits.
Cornbread mafia. That's what we call
Yeah, right there is when you say it.
it. I have no idea. I've heard about some.
It's actually his laugh. It's a little more concerning to me.
Billy Mafia type stuff and everything, you know, and all these different voices. We tried to steer clear from all these. This is wired up. Tried to steer.
But did you though, or did you keep fucking with him, bro? Like on real bad levels, you probably shouldn't have.
We call this insulating and running. She insulates, she starts crying, so we can't get to her. In other words, psychologically, we can't speak to her. And we see the emotion. As soon as I say cornbread mafia, right there, we see that mouth start dragging down within seconds. And that's how long it takes to get into the brain, work around, do its thing, and say, hey, this isn't good. And it shows emotions coming from this that most likely shouldn't be there. Which of course we'll discuss later.
I will also say, are the tears real? Absolutely, because you can't fake a snotty nose, just to use regular old terms. And what we know is that she is feeling pain, she is feeling emotion here that we didn't see any other place in the story. So this feels.
We don't know what it is.
That's
it
right.
Could be fear.
That's right.
It could be guilt. It could be fear and guilt. It could be any number of things.
We can't read minds. We read symptoms, as you say all the time. We read symptoms, but those are pretty clear symptoms.
Clear from all these people.
I mean, the thing is, man, it's like, I can't reconcile. Y'all know all these versions of all these people. Monsters, these motherfuckers off of that cursed ass goddamn road. All these fucking fake or fancied up or mask wearing versions or whatever. I don't even give a damn. But in real time, in real life, for many years, like shit like this don't fly for me. Just like the bullshit tears and the garbage when I get the call to change my story about sharing it. I'm just and all these other moments, you know. Can't reconcile these types of things because I know these people to be types to where watch to make all of their children cry on purpose. On purpose. And then laugh at them and their tears. And find it funny. And these people at this point were still in the same addictive stage. I mean, and that, sober or otherwise, it won't matter. They're still as they are. But can't reconcile. I can't, man. I can't reconcile it because what I see now is fake as fuck. Addictions or not, or stalls or whatnot. I mean, I know all these motherfuckers. I know in these days there's hoaxes being played. I know there's laughter. It's like, Mary calls them, like, man, you know how it's gonna make you look, right? If they're laughing about it, sir, but then they realize, well, they're around the neighborhood stick up her ass. And it's like, ah, shit, yeah, you know. Like, but 2 seconds before you're laughing and joking because you forgot who it was. And then I watch him play all these hoaxes stuff, and this is all during all these periods, and see so much fake shit. I'm just like, you know what? But also in that same breath, it's just like with my, I mean, but it's like throughout this walk, I'm trying to hunt and figure out all this fucking tragedy pimp shit too, and go there. I don't want to see being beat on. I know what they are, but I don't want to see her beat on. I don't want to see her set up. I don't want to see that shit. You know what I mean? Because right's right, wrong's wrong. But I know shit's fake. I know shit's fucked. I know shit's tampered with. And then you come on the line all the way here, and you have pieces in the way back show all these creators and these others and the inserters and other things woven in or manipulating everything around summer from the first days, you know, first minutes, even before alerts. They're trying to get in there. Command posts are inserted. Search crews are putting out shit already that's not true. And, you know, I'm talking about people trying to get in to everything that very night. But then later, seemingly, just, you know, I also feel like she was manipulated by it once to make it clear because days in advance of all that, they did start in a weird way because, you know, her and I were still talking. I think it was their way of these groups and players behind the scenes getting her broke down to where she probably acquiesced to going to Dr. Phil, but getting her in certain emotional states. And around it as well, they were pushing a whole fuck ton of summer sightings to her. And she'd message I and others with them, you know, and we'd help try to figure out if they were, weren't, if they'd already been debunked, all these things, you know. Looking back, I think that was the case. Because they started laying off of that right after that. Weren't as frequent, but leading up to Dr. Phil, they were just hammering on it every day. Here's this, here's that, here's this, which of course, it's sort of always like that, but the most massive ones, the biggest ones, were right there on those days. You know, this group or someone most likely manipulating her at mental and emotional levels too. And you have Mullen admittedly telling her to walk up, do all these other things too. I think certain things were meant to make her look certain ways, especially as marathon was set up and coming down. It's like, I remember talking to Candace, especially the first few weeks and after Sheridan became involved. And I could hear Sheridan in the background phone Donis or, you know, but I didn't know who at the time. All these other things. It depended as the days grew and what I knew and what I initially did and all these things became aware of. But I could hear the way he was talking to Sheridan and just dogging the shit out of Candace. And Candace is on the phone or bitch chats with me or we'd be in person, we'd be doing that shit, you know, and I'm like, God damn, bro, he is like trying to throw you underneath the bus, ain't he? Like, he is just, I don't know what the fuck. She's like, yeah, he sure is. And then we all agreed it was the Dawn show. Every time Candace got any good attention for summer, Dawn would then get on here, be a fuckwad overnight, and then it would keep real media away from Summer's case and redirect attention back here to YouTube for some weird ass reason. It's rather strange. So, you know, I don't know. Levels of fuckery you cannot imagine, fathom. Those you don't want to believe, refuse to believe, wouldn't believe even if it were you it's happening to, or around. And that, too, is part of the design, isn't it? Make it so goddamn unbelievable, nobody ever would. Make victims of this type of shit. Those who try to fight against it, out it, make them look crazier than shithouse rats. That, too, is part of the design. Problem is when they get several years in, which they're not accustomed to around here, and people have years worth of proof and evidence of it, that's where it gets a little dicey. That's where it gets a little dicey. So now I just have to tell everybody's a liar and hope people believe it. Because, if you say something enough, blah, 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 get enough nice sounding creators to say it, it must be true. Create enough fake emails, messages, chats, narratives, clip pieces together to make them sound certain ways, and by God, the world will believe. Won't they? Yeah. Anyway, you guys. That's what it is. Right now, ish. For now. Sort of. Sort of. Ugh. There's something wrong with my taste buds. There's something wrong with my damn Dr. Pepper. Can't taste shit again. It does tend to happen when my chest is hurting really bad and I eat shit on ice, though. But we're sick really bad for there, dude. So I don't know. Guess we'll figure it out, won't I? Guess we'll figure it out. Alright, y'all. I think I'm gonna leave this one here for now. I want to rest. I don't feel so good, obviously, still, and we're out from day. Everything seems to be sort of quiet. I'm gonna leave all the cams and alarms to do their job, and thank God there's no more popcorn near me. I'm not actually eating leftover movie theater popcorn. But I think I'm gonna settle for some Carmelos or something. Um, some more ice and y'all, have you seen? I shared them on the community page. It's like ambient sounds and stuff from Jurassic Park. I think one of them said for sleeping, the other said, nah, it's just ambient noise. Yeah, I might go with one of those. Um, uh, I'll tell you what, I've been trying the audiobook thing and I just can't. For me, I found a couple that, are read well. Man, it takes a certain person reading a certain cadence for it to be okay with me. But most of these, like, I know I like the books, so it's more background noise for me because I've already read them and such, especially some of the classics. So, yeah, but I'm like, well, I like these, so I could use it as a background, much like I do movies and shit I've already watched, all that. But damn, the voices reading shit, they're just awful and they're irritating. Found one the other night. It was supposed to be read by Cumberbatch. That dude was not Cumberbatch. That whole thing, they were lying to me. I was like, I know that fella's voice, and that ain't it. Quit lying to me like that, internet fuckers. You know? So, fucking internet. Everyone's gonna be fucking around over it, don't they? No, you can't call these people narrators. These are just fucking irritating voices. Like, you can't even call them narrators. They're like some random asshole. Generally, those with accents, especially British, but it's just some random. Like, I guess they think everybody, you just can't do that. Just because you want to say you're a narrator does not mean you are one. Nor am I going to perceive you as such. You're just some jackass out here trying to read me a fucking book. Suck it. You know? Mm-mm. Ain't gonna work. Not even, and like, it's so annoying that I'm not wanting anything more to do with the audio versions of these books than to have them as background noise anyway, because I just can't. I like reading. So, but I'm thinking, well, yeah, I'm okay with a few, as long as they're read off by, whatever. I can do background noise. Hell no. So irritating. I'm like, I can't fucking stand this shit. Like, it disrupts even, like, you can't even play this background. I don't know, I'm picky. Mostly tone sensitive. There are good narrators and there's random assholes. Just where I'm at. Real narrators and just random assholes. And I also found somebody over here trying to. Thought I found one. It was like Avatar Ocean stuff. Man, not only was the video garbage on that, the sounds were too. I'm like, these aren't even good ocean noises. This video sucks. How dare you call this avatar anything? Oh, found this bear video. It's amazing. I will show you guys tomorrow. It's amazing. It's right up there with the hawk and the snake and poor Peggy. Yep. Oh yeah. It's amazing. This bear is sort of my spirit animal. Probably very fittingly so today. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna leave it there for tonight. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple tonight. And I'm just gonna say, please share the DD/Universal Hand Signal for help. Y'all know my spiel around it. And how many lives it can save far out of those realms. I mean, just Universal Hand Signal for help. Self-explanatory, you think, but often not. But either way, I'll leave it there. And as always, please share Summer's picture information, call her by her name. And I will save you the speech around it tonight as well. You know what I mean by info. Alright? You know what I mean. And it is a very tangible way to help find her, bring her home to her community or brothers, law enforcement, and courts, so that she or they can help her or help tell her story for her, because they're the only ones that deserve to do so and should be doing so. And I hope one day that it is indeed her that you get to hear tell her story. I hope that more than anything. Please do keep up with Ansley and Bobo and other real local or investigative journalists. Do make yourselves aware of Summer's Q&A on the TVI and Fed's website. Remember, you can find some of the best, earliest, and cleanest interviews from Bobo over on Hawkins County News over here on YouTube, Rogers Review, and Kingsport Times News. Those are probably some of the only you'll find that aren't tainted all to shit by tragedy, pimps, weavers, criminals, fuckery. Or just bullshit altogether, eventually. Anyway, guys, I do hope you're having a good morning, good evening, and good night on this little speck. This little blue, beautiful speck full of little, tiny, beautiful things floating amongst these cosmos. You only get one little life on it. While you're here, you may not be perfect, but you can every now and then kick out a good pebble. Ripples become tsunamis somewhere. You can go from a random smile at a stranger to saving life around the world. You never know. You can start a little spark and it becomes an inferno. You can speak out with one singular voice, your own, and others may join you and it may become a symphony. Maybe a symphony you'll never hear, but it creates one nonetheless. Maybe your voice helps lift somebody out of the darkness before it's too late. You never know. Little things, guys. And this little speck floating in this big, big universe. Don't want it to be perfect. Not even close. But we can all do something here and there, I guess. Alright. Anyway, you guys, I hope you're enjoying your night. Those of you what yeah, I'm thinking of Little Nicky. The foosball, right? Is that not the movie? Shit, it was fun. Anyway, I hope that went well for you. I don't know. Please do not drink and drive. Um, stay the hell wherever y'all are. Call a cab, an Uber, whatever. Stay off the roadways, damn it. And don't be. I don't know. I've not heard of any super incidents. I did hear about the Pew situation on Joel Olstein's carpets earlier. I don't know. I read an article on it. Said at first, like, now, not that they've clarified this situation yet, but at first it looked like maybe the cop was responsible for, I don't know, shooting a child. I'm very confused by that. I'm going to look into it some more at some point, but I know they were already running that crap over here on the streets early. Of course, they got to take full advantage of that. That's, what would it be without that? But I got it as a news headline, real news, so whatever. And I hope the little one does pull through. Anyway. You just never know, do you? When an average day is gonna not become an average day. So do enjoy a little steak. Anyway, you guys, stay off the roadways. Hope the foosball worked out. Alright. Y'all have a good morning, good evening, and good night.